Hello, blessed star family. I am the magical medium, and welcome to this spiritual guidance channel, and welcome to my very last moon cycle reading. Now, I don't know what's going to happen in the future, but all I know for right now, this is the last reading that I will be doing for this channel. Now, I may just be going on a sabbatical. I may be saying sayonara. I'm not quite sure what it's going to be. All I know is it's time for me. Yeah. And you. It's time for all of us to, do different things. And not just that, but I am going to continue on my other channel, Lula's Life. And I am going to leave this channel up. And I may pop in here and there with a pick a reading on this channel. I don't know. I do believe they are going to have me continue doing shorts, and I don't know if it'll be a daily, a weekly, monthly thing. I'm not quite sure. There's going to be a lot of things that are going to, let's just say, if you see the channel, if you continue to stay subscribed to the Magical Medium, which I hope you do, because something else is coming. And I don't want to let out too much yet because I'm getting a lot of different things. But I am getting the vibe that I'm coming back here. So like I said, it could just be for little things here and there, or it could be that I'll be doing something else. I do know that Spirit has been pushing me to a lot of different things that they want me to work on, work with. And it didn't surprise me. I will say this. I was more excited about the decks for this reading than any other reading I think I've ever done in the history of readings, because it's the last one. So I was like, oh, Moonology, I'm sure, I'm going through all these decks that I'm thinking we're going to use, because now I have, I think 3 or 4 moon decks. And these are the ones. And the Making Magic Oracle, I think, was one of the first ones we ever used. I don't know, Anna, if you remember. Anna gifted the tribe with that deck. And I believe I bought the White Light Oracle, but if you bought it, Anna, let me know. But I believe I bought the White Light Oracle. And Living by the Moon was one of those fun Oracle mantra decks that I found randomly at Marshall's. Didn't even know, 223. I saw it 223, even though I looked down, it was 234. So 223. Okay. So whatever that means to you, angel number, throw them together. It's also the number 7. I'll tell you, it feels almost like a long time. I mean, honestly, it feels so long ago that I did the last reading, since I did the last quarter moon reading, because the way I've been doing this for a year and a half is I do, 8 readings during the moon cycle for the new, the waxing crescent, the first, the waxing gibbous, the full, the waning gibbous, the last quarter, and now the waning crescent. So I thought for sure I was going to do it in the middle of the week like I normally do and be like, oh, bye, you guys, whatever. And they're like, no. So they're having me do it the last day of the moon cycle, which is so fucking cool. I mean, I just feel so much magic. I hope you feel the magic here too. In fact, I'm going to take a screenshot of this because it's good. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. I want to make sure that this is what goes on the cover. I'm so grateful to all of you for this beautiful and wonderful experience. I am going to still be doing things over on Lula's Life, but I'm not going to tell, I can't say, oh, for sure this or that. They did have me pull some cards in the last Tallulah talk. And if those of you who've been with me for a long time, when this was Lula's Labyrinth, I used to do real talks, and then I would do real talks and a reading, because sometimes Spirit would have me pull some cards in, or we would just, I would just do straight up channeling as mediumship to, talk, let people's ancestors talk to them, their loved ones that have crossed over. So I don't know. I don't know if we're going to go back to that. I don't know what's going to happen. Lula's Life, I've got so much stuff on there, from my nature stuff. I love comedy. I love acting. I love singing. You're going to see a lot more music and singing. You know, our new home is on the horizon, and you're going to probably see a lot of things there. And I have lots to share with you guys about that, but I don't want to talk about that right now. I really just want to focus on you guys. I just want to let you know that I'm still going to be going over there. And, you know, Baba, you know, at some point, I know they're going to have me focus on Baba's channel as well, but I don't know when that's going to be. Uh, but for now, we are here. And, you know, I was born under the waning crescent. So it's so beautiful to me that we are ending it in my moon phase. And what I know about the waning crescent energy is the number one word I kept seeing was wisdom. And my friends, my family, my tribe, my people, my community, my fellow witches and healers and deep down believers in magic, my white lighters, the dark souls, the light souls, we're all intertwined. We're all the same. Thank you for being here. Thank you for walking this path with me. This has been so fucking awesome. I have enjoyed every minute of it. You know, I've watched so much of myself and my so-called like online personality, whatever, like me, going from me as myself in social media to you know, changing my name and changing my identity and changing so many things about myself, and coming into this, it's been quite the evolution and quite the revolution, if I might add. I have never felt more like me in all of my years of being alive, and I'm so fucking excited to see what's going to happen, where I'm going to go, where we're going to go together, where we're all going to go individually. It's just going to be a really special, magical time. This year, whenever you watch this, it's timeless, of course, but in real time, it is June 16th. It's Friday, June 16th, 2023. And from now until next May 2024, we are in a lot of really cool astrological energies. And hint hint, so I am being pulled to study more, and not just that, but more even in depthly with the moon and the cycles. So like I said, I don't know what's going to happen. I really don't know. Somebody had said recently to me, a beautiful fellow angel said, you know, maybe you're just meant to do what you want to do when you want to do it, you know, and maybe they kept you on this schedule to help you get through like the last year and a half. And especially, you know, for those of you who know, I've been living home free and off the grid for almost exactly a year. We're like, I don't know, 12 days shy of a year that we've been completely without electricity and running water. And it's been quite something. And let me tell you, I found this beautiful angel, Winnie, from Uganda, and she is a supermodel, or at least a very popular, from what I can tell, she's a really good model. And but when she's not modeling, she goes back to Africa. She goes back to Uganda, and it's really been cool to watch her shorts and watch her videos. And I'm like, holy shit, that's what I'm doing. I was like, that's exactly what I'm doing. But the way that she took pride in it, and the way that throat chakra, we all need to speak our truth, right? Like watching her be so gentle with it, so loving with it, so grateful, like that it was just part of the day. Like she got up every day, she started the fire, she got the kettle going for water so that she can wash dishes, she can wash clothes, she can, I mean, it was really cool and quite fucking magical and witchy. And I thought, here I've been doing it, you know, just like grunting and not very happy about it. And it's definitely pulled and pushed and pulled me. Another angel that I spoke with recently, I said, I feel like one of those, I go, what do you call him? And I go, Lance Armstrong, what do you call him? And she's like Strongman or whatever and I can't remember the name now. And if you guys remember, there were those dolls, those really old dolls. I don't know where they came out, 50s, 60s, 70s, but Stretch Armstrong. Thank you, Jessica. I swear I just heard Jessica herself go, Stretch Armstrong. But that's like where myself and Alder have been, and 912 angel number. And I've been also, they wanted me to say that 9 and the semicolon and the 12 mean things, right? And 1 and 2 is 3, and 3 is a derivative of 9. And there's something with that. And remember that 9 means that we're almost there, we're almost there, we're almost there. And the 12s, I want you to look up these numbers if they ping with you. Recently, someone had commented on my channel that they it was the weirdest. And hey, I send you love, brother. Thank you, because it actually like really brought a lot of really cool things into play for me in a lot of ways. But they had mentioned that I had ADHD or something, and I think they said they liked it, but it was kind of like crazy, but, but they kind of liked it. And I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm not fucking everybody's flavor. Like you either follow my flow or you don't, and that's okay. When I'm watching readings, same thing. There are some readers that I go to because they're super calm, they're super quiet, and there's some they're just like me, and they're fucking straight up channels. They are mediums. Like you can hear the shakes in my voice. Like I'm channeling fucking energies, entities. Things are coming in from all over the place. It's like you just kind of have to grab it. It's like whatever. It's like, oh yeah, I've been seeing 912 everywhere. What does that mean? It's like, what does it mean for you? So I am here to do that. But in this capacity, I love being a channel. I love being a medium. I love doing this stuff for you. But it was interesting that somebody saw it as like a label, like a sickness. And I think that's what made me really disgruntled a little bit. I didn't delete them or whatever, and you're welcome here, dude, totally welcome. But it just made me realize, like, you know, it's the labels that are fucking us up. That's the kind of shit that's like really messing with people. And even if you're like, oh, but I was trying to be funny or trying to be cool, it's like, but you know what? We are here to like really, really, really be mindful of our words and our actions right now. Alder and I, we have been sparring like motherfuckers. It's like May was like the month of love, and we were like the love boat. Like everything was fucking awesome. And then everything for our signs was like, oh, June's gonna be amazing. Everything in astrology, they're like, oh, June's gonna be so fucking rocking. Like everybody's gonna love June. June's gonna be amazing. And I'm like, it's June 16th, and I'm already like got bandages around my head and black eyes. You know what I mean? Not for real, but I'm saying like the little emoji. Like I feel beat to shit. Like spiritually, I feel mentally, emotionally, and physically like beat to shit. And a lot of things were from certain things he did and said, and he's like, oh, I didn't really mean it like that or whatever. And I'm like, you can't just fucking do shit like that anymore. We are in a different like atmosphere. We are in new earth. The energy is different. It is fucking real. It is nothing to be toyed with, but at the same time, it is open and loving and here for you. But if you are bashing or boastful or like things, spirit will fucking put you in your place. 1223. Also, they wanted me to say for some of you, 1223, it's something about Christmas, this Christmas. I have been hearing Christmas music like fucking crazy today. So for all of us, they're saying after winter solstice, there's going to be something really magical. I'm going to look in my calendar. By the way, can I tell you that part of the reason why I was being such a baby about this is I had my whole calendar like set up for the year, not for like the readings and that, but just like all the things like so that I would know. But they were kind of like, you should know those things, or you should have those things written down. Not should, but like I'm a practicing witch, I don't get to just pretend anymore either. You know what I mean? Like I'm a badass motherfucker. I came here to do a lot of stuff. I did not come here to play small. I did not come here to be weak. But at the same time, I am so much love, and I am so much peace, and I am so much grace. But I do understand that there's a lot of shit going on in this place. So they just want us to be aware, but they don't want us to stare, right? At the darkness, the fear. They just want us to be aware. So just be aware. Okay. And actually, so we're going to talk about this, and then we're going to do a little prayer and a cleansing. So yeah, very interesting. So Yule, winter solstice, Capricorn season, all of that is happening from like the 21st through like the 23rd. Okay. Depending on like where you live and stuff. So, they're talking about something really cool. Oh shit, I thought I heard them say that Mercury's going to be in retrograde, but it's going to be a good thing. It's going to be a good thing. There's going to be a really big shedding and a cleansing. Oh, this is for Anna. Oh my gosh, Anna. Oh my goddess, Anna. So for those of you who don't know, Anna is like the president of the Magical Medium channel, as far as I'm concerned. I don't think she's ever missed an episode, and if she did, that's okay. But I'm just saying, like, and it's okay for those of you who've never missed an episode either. I'm not trying to whatever, but Anna is like on a different level of all of us, and I like bow to Anna in the most love, on the highest high. All the gifts, all the things that you've done to really like push the magical medium, and this moon phases energy, these readings, where the channel was for a year and a half. Thank you so much, you guys. A lot of that was Anna inspired from the first beautiful binder she gave me with all of the moon phases, the cycles on it, that told us about each one. And I mean, we've been learning together, we have been growing together. This has been like a really cool, nonstop, awesome. It's almost like it's been one long class, like a course. It's almost as if all of us together signed on for this course, and some of us stayed and some of us didn't. Some of us left and came back. You know what I mean? I've been here the whole time, obviously, but it's okay if you've left and come back. Like, it's not about that. It's not some hierarchy system. It's just that, honestly, if it wasn't for Anna and Jessica, and I can go on and on and on. I mean, Amber, Jules, Zoe. I mean, I could go on and on and on. Lori. I mean, I feel like it's like romper room, and I don't want to forget anybody or hurt anybody's feelings, because there's so many of you in this tribe that are so amazing, and you were the ones that held me up. And also, before we go any further with this, I want us to all close our eyes for a moment. Just like on the box of the White Oracle, the angel had their eyes closed and their heads bowed. My beautiful family, friends, and community, I'm asking you with loving grace to please hold space for our fallen brethren and sisters. To me, brethren's all the same, but our brothers, sisters, brethren. Spirit, please watch over our fallen. All of those who have lost their way. It's okay. It's exactly where they're meant to be today. Some of the darkness is very real. And we ask with power that you feel inside and out all of the healing that is going about. Thank you, Spirit, for healing us. We call upon the healing energies of the universe. We call upon the Reiki energy, the sun, the moon, the chi, the we. We call upon the healing energies of the universe. We call upon the Galactic Council. We call upon the gods and goddesses, the spirit animals, the spirit guides, the ancestors, the angels, the dragons, the unicorns. You know who you are. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for healing this tribe from the inside out and the outside in. Thank you for healing and clearing our chakras from top to bottom. We call upon the powers of the universe. As above, so below. We call upon the earth energies, Gaia, Sandalphon. We call upon the energies above, Jesus, Metatron. We call upon the north energy of Uriel, of earth, of grounding, of home, hearth, material, attachment. We call upon the east, air, Raphael, healing. Thank you, Raphael, for healing us from the inside out and the outside in. The wind energy to clear away all of the darkness. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We call upon the south energy of fire, of Michael, of the south. Thank you, Archangel Michael, for burning away all that which no longer serves us. From one session to every session, for everything in between. Thank you for blessing every soul that's been a part of any of this healing on this channel. At any given time, we love you. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Spirit. And to the west, Gabriel, water, flow. Let it go. Thank you, Michael, for protection. I forgot to thank Michael for protection. Thank you, Gabriel. Gabriel. He was so polite. Thank you, Gabriel. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you all for being here today. Thank you for healing us from the inside out and the outside in, for repairing any damage to our auric field, to repairing any damage to any of our chakras, our storm chakra, our crown chakra, our third eye, our throat chakra, our blessed heart chakra, solar plexus, sacral chakra, and root chakra. As above, so below. Thank you, Spirit, for blessing us. Thank you for watching us grow. Thank you for being a part of this flow. This has been amazing. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you to the Galactica, the beautiful Galactica. Thank you to all that have been here. Every single one of you. It's been such a beautiful ride. Thank you so much. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Grandma Rose. Thank you, Uncle Steve. Thank you, Uncle Tony. Stephanie. Liza. Oh, Prince. Oh my gosh, David Bowie. Thanks, you guys. Lemmy, what's happening? Oh my gosh, thanks, Freddie. Oh my gosh, you guys, thank you. Oh gosh. I heard them say share, so I'm hoping they say your higher self because I haven't seen the news today. I would be devastated. Okay. So thank you to Cher's higher self no matter what. But I'm getting this vibe that they want us to be ourselves, like Cher, like all of those artists that I spoke before, like Van Gogh. Whatever deity rocks your flow, you know what I mean? Whatever it is, it's time to let go of the past. It's time for us to move forward at last, because this is the year of blessings, you guys. And this year, it won't be around again for another 12 years. They want you to really take advantage of it and really study your chart and astrology. I'm going to be doing the same. I don't know if they're going to be having me bring it in with you guys with that, or if it's just something for me to do on my own. I have no idea. But they are saying really seriously work with that, okay? Any more messages before we pull cards, Spirit? Any more blessings of healings? Any more energies or entities? Oh, Purple Rain. I heard Purple Rain. Thanks, Prince. So if you want some good healing, listen to Purple Rain by Prince. And if you can, try and find the live version or the version from the movie. I saw one of those real story things of like when movies are made, and they said that like really happened like that. They said that if you were in that room, it felt like you were floating and like there was magic. So you probably can find that scene on YouTube if you don't want to watch the whole movie. There's a lot of stuff going on in that movie, and there's a lot of dark stuff, and like it could be triggering for some of you. So either way, just watch the last scene. It's really amazing. It's beautiful, and it's when Prince sings Purple Rain in the movie Purple Rain. Okay. I also keep seeing Barney. So for some of you, like Selena Gomez, like, I don't know, Selena Gomez. So thank you, Selena Gomez. Thank you to that energy. You know, I remember when Barney came out, and it's funny. I used to watch my nieces and nephews, and definitely my nieces, though I remember they used to watch Barney, and I couldn't stand that song. Like, I was like, if I never ever hear that song again, it would be too soon. I won't even sing it or get into it. You know what I'm talking about? But isn't that crazy that when I would watch that with them, I had no idea that was little Selena Gomez. Selena Gomez. Oh, I just opened my eyes for the first time. You can open your eyes if you'd like. 2331 when I looked on. So 23 is 5, 31 is 13 backwards, and 13 is the number of the goddess, the divine feminine, which is all about the moon. So I don't give a fuck if I have Tourette's or ADHD or whatever label people want to put on it. I love everything about myself, and I love my gifts, and I love doing this shit, and I'll keep doing it. And you know, people will go with my flow or they won't. But yeah, so those are the magical things that they're talking about. Like, I had no idea that was Selena Gomez. I remember thinking what a cute little girl she was, but I never put it together until like when I found out, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's so crazy. So there's something with that too. So I know that there are a lot of people in this tribe that are kind of in the Selena Gomez generation, like you grew up watching that. there's a lot of people in this tribe who are from 24 to 34. When I get the statistics on this tribe, it's interesting. We have like that, and then we have like my age group and like older to 64, which is really interesting. So, it's like generational, right? It skips a generation kind of thing. So very fucking interesting. So we are going to dive in. I don't know how much more they're going to have me talk about the future, so to speak, because tomorrow is the new moon at Pacific Standard Time at 9:37 p.m. to be exact. So we are still in the waning crescent. We are in the darkness of the moon. My whole body is shaking, you guys. Like, I can feel you. I can feel you. I can feel you. I will give you this before we pop into the reading. They also asked me to give you this because it's on the same page as all my other stuff. I was like, it feels wrong not to give it all up, So I will give you a few things for the new moon to set you into the new moon cycle on your own. It is the new moon in Gemini, which Gemini is air, right? But then we're going to be going into Cancer in a few days, and that's water. So just think about that. When air and water come together, just put that in your mind, right? Cyclones, we can talk about a lot of different things, right? Flooding can happen, but I found it interesting that the title of the new moon in Gemini energy is the River of Dreams, the River of Dreams. And they had me bring in, this is my blanket. They had me bring in this blanket that's got like stars and angels and stuff on it. It's like super, super magical. And as you can tell, like, I'm just feeling so good. I wasn't sure how this was going to go down, but I am so grateful for it. And I'm so grateful that you guys are here. And thank you for holding space for me and just for being here. Also, the bee is our spirit animal for this reading, but also carrying on forward through the new moon and Gemini energy. They had me circle the 17th and 18th and like showing like how it, goes together. Also, I put an angel here, like a little angel, and I didn't realize that the little thing from the arrow makes it look like a party. So angel 1414 is also our angel number that we are going to be working with from here until you want to move forward. Okay, I don't know what's going on, but I'm enjoying it. I'm really like kind of tripping out right now because seriously, like my whole body is shaking. So I'm gonna put on another layer and see, because you can tell when you're cold and you can tell when you're channeling, and I am channeling so much, and I'm channeling, so it makes me feel a little more cold as well. Also, holy basil for those of you, for those of you who are into scents and things that if you're looking for something new to work with, that's kind of the vibe I got from Spirit. Now, I am blessed to have a lot of people who we do trade for spirit work. So, this is just what I have from doTERRA, but you can actually get the holy basil plant. One of our tribe members, Zoe, she was actually, she worked in Hawaii last summer, and she was like, oh, Tulsi. And I think she said they ate it to clean their teeth or whatever. So the Tulsi plant. So that's something to look into on your own. And then spearmint. It's not just for gum. Spearmint is really good for clarity. Okay, so get a spearmint plant. Make sure that it's, from good soil, and don't use any, Miracle Grow or any of that crap. It is literally chemicals. Don't do it. Just only natural, all the way natural, which is why I'm not even using flash today, nothing. They really want us to rest in the natural energy. Oh man, I wish they had smell-o-vision, because this spearmint is fantastic. Okay, so we are going to pull some cards, but they wanted me to talk about you already saw the title. I don't know exactly what the title is going to be now, but of course, by the time you see it, it's already there. All I know is in my notes, they were like last moon cycle reading, and then they put ... for now, meaning like I might pop in on a moon cycle reading and do a pick reading. Or I might like do like a reading on Tallulah Talk. So subscribe, follow me and subscribe to me also on Lula's Life and watch that unfold. I don't know what magic is going to happen there. And stay subscribed here as well, because I am coming back. I just don't know in what capacity. So for now, and then they're like ... And that's when they told me it was is it a sabbatical or a sayonara? I don't know. So healing, the flow of let go. The flow of let go, and faith and the promise. These are the things that Spirit wants us to remember. And I almost feel like we're going to pull like one card from each deck, because I didn't even pull this together until right now, that we have healing is like our main, because we're in rest and restore energy, right? The waning crescent is the rest and restore energy. The moon cycle itself may be wisdom, and right, like we've been through all this cycle, we've been through all the different phases of the moon, we've learned all the lessons, right? Like we've gained the knowledge, but also it's about resting and restoring. It's about, I'm done. I don't have to do any more. Everything that is going to be done is going to be done, and I don't have to do anything else until the new moon. And then the new moon, you can set intentions or not set intentions. You could take a moon cycle off. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to do something every moon, or every moon you do something, but you do something from one scale to another, whatever it feels good to you. So we have the flow of let go, faith, and the promise. I am going to hop in right away over here because the other thing that they had me talk about, or they wanted me to talk about, is that the moon energy it's like basically it says the moon is, let me read my own notes, okay? The moon is connected to our emotions and the divine feminine mysteries of the heart. I am going to put a link below in the description box from this really awesome article. I neglected to write down the author's name, but I will put it in the description box below, from this really great website that I loved. It comes up every so often. It's just a really great website, so you might want to follow it as well. But I just took some notes from there and combined it with some of the downloads that I got from Spirit, from the music I was listening to. And when I heard that, it just really spoke to my heart, that the moon is the mysteries of the heart. When I looked down, it was 3128. Because there's that 31 again, right? Because it's the darkness of, it's like, well, let's put it this way. The divine feminine and the divine masculine, right? We've got one side and the other side. We've got almost like light and dark, right? Because the masculine is like the firm, the strong, it's a little more, it's not as warm and fuzzy, right? Like we need the masculine, because the feminine is like, oh, you hurt yourself? Oh, my sweetheart. You know what I mean? It's like, but you've got this kind of, and sometimes in a household, 3155. Oh, by the way, we keep getting these forms of 5, which is change and transformation, and 10, which is completion, and also 13 and 31, right? Because it's the reflection, it's the mirror image. We cannot have one without the other. We need 13, right? It's the divine goddess. But if you put 13 in front of a mirror, it would show 31. So we need that mirror in front of us. That's why, my partner and I had that huge fucking fight, that huge, like crazy drag down, beat the shit out of each other mentally, emotionally, we needed to go there. But the interesting thing is before we would run away, we would be like, I need time away. I need, this time I was like, should we, are you going to go away for a few days? What should we do? Blah, blah, blah. And then he was like, he basically said, I want to stay and fight. And I was like, oh my gosh, like not fight, but like fight for us. Like, no, I don't want to go away. I don't want to leave this house. I don't want to leave you. I don't want to leave my family. He's like, I don't need to do that. And I was like, oh my gosh, dude, I'm going to cry right now. I was like, and he was so beautiful, and he was like so vulnerable, and he cried to me, and I was actually a fucking bitch back to him. And it was so weird. It was like we just kept going seesawing back and forth. So one was crying and sad, and the other one was mean. And I was like, what are we doing? And we were just like this, like if, like the cartoon where like the animals are fighting, and all you see is like the scruff in the air kind of thing. And you're like, oh gosh, I hope they're okay. Hope they turn out alive, Speaking of, Bubba caught a mouse the other day. It's okay, it ran away, but it was a really funny thing to like watch. Anyway, not in a mean way, but we've had some mice around here who've been pesky, and we've been telling them to keep their distance. And you know what, Bubba, she didn't hurt him, she just like scared the fuck out of him. And I said, now you take that as a lesson. Anyway, we need this mirrored energy, this mirror image of ourselves, so that we can see who we are and love ourselves anyway. Because, It's one thing if you are sparring. Like, I kept breaking up with him because I'm like, listen, I will fucking spar with you all day long as it's like productive, like that we're actually real twin flames as they speak of, and that we're actually going to bring something to the table, both of us. Because if not, one of us is the weight and one of us is the taker, and that's not cool. And it was just imbalanced for too long where I was like, nope, I'm out. And when I finally said, whatever, that's when they started to get serious. And it's been almost 3 years of just like really, really going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. But the lessons have been immeasurable. And last night, my father came to me because he and I called a truce, and we decided and we just ended up having this great fun night together. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? Are we like crazy? He's like, no, he's like, this is like, it's awesome. Like, we're doing what we need to do. And so we had a sweet kiss. He went to bed, and like just a little while later, my dad came to me through Elvis. And it was such a beautiful version of Suspicious Minds. And when I was a kid and my dad and my mom were fighting, my dad would get really drunk and he would go in the basement. He would just like blare music. He would jam on his guitar. He'd turn on the microphone. And, yeah, we were 2 floors above, but still, I mean, it's a fucking house. I mean, my dad's playing on an amplifier through a microphone. We're going to hear him at 2:00 in the morning. The whole fucking neighborhood can hear him, And I just remember hearing that song on repeat. And I remember like years later, like my parents were divorced and it came on the radio and I started singing it. My mom's like, God, please turn that off. Like, she can't hear it, But I always loved that song. And it took me years to be able to hear it again. But last night was like hearing it for the very first time, because I felt like it was spirit talking to me about spirit. So if you're so bold, reach out and look for Elvis Suspicious Mind. Actually, you know what? I will find the link for the one cover if they want me to. If not, I'll just put it there, and it's meant for you to find your own, because it might, you know what I mean? Like, he's done so many different covers, you know what I mean? Like, of Suspicious Minds. It's crazy. Or in like different time periods and, concerts and everything, and his emotions. Elvis was a very emotional person, which is why, when he was singing, like, he gave his gusto. People loved that. And that's what spirit wants from us. They want us to give our gusto. They want us to give it our all. They want us to keep going, even when it's fucking tough, not running away. Sometimes it's good to walk away, right? Like, sometimes you're like, I need a minute. I got to walk away, right? Because whatever. And then sometimes shit's got to get said, and it may not be pretty, and it may not be fun, and it may not even be warranted, but you know what? It's got to get said. And you say it, and you may regret it, but it doesn't fucking matter, because there's no regret. You realize that that's how you really feel somewhere deep inside of you, and it needs to fucking come out. We can't keep holding stuff in. And I am so grateful to these moon cycles. I have learned so much about myself, about my emotions. I was born on a Monday, on a moon day, so it made so much sense to me. And I love that we're ending on the waning crescent in the cycle that I was born on. I mean, to me, this is just pure magic. You are magic. I am magic. We were all brought together for a reason. I am in forever gratitude to every single one of you for every single support, contribution, prayer, everything, every type of contribution you've ever given me or done for me. I am so grateful, and my family, of course, and for the tribe. So grateful. So that was really interesting to me. So spirit, we're gonna in the okay, they said take a water break. Everybody take a water break. Okay. I love that from Breakfast Club. All right. So with this deck, if I am correct, I believe that you want us to healing the flow of let go from this deck. Healing the flow of let go. What is our mantra? What is our mantra, Spirit? What is our mantra? What is our mantra? Because this is the mantra deck. It could be more than one. But for this last moon cycle, for this waning crescent, this last moon cycle reading, and this, because I'm going to stop and say, for those of you who are new here, or those of you who haven't been, ever since I started this, I haven't missed one reading. Even last, December, when I was brutally ill and hadn't been that sick in so many years, I found I did it. I didn't care. I was like, you know what? I have to do this. It was like, you know, and I feel like we've come to the end of something. And if you've never missed an episode too, like if you're that person that never missed a day of school and people are like, shut the fuck up, you missed one day of school, you're like, no, I never missed a day of school ever. And you're like, come on, those people exist. So if you did, my hat is off to you. That is amazing. And thank you for walking with me. And if you have missed, it's okay. But that's pretty fucking cool if you did, because we were really in school. And so now I'm asking them, what is in this rest and restore energy, not just of this end of this moon cycle, but the end of this cycle of these readings, of this class, of this tribe. What are our mantras in the flow of let go? Oh, cute. Oh, look at that. The first one. I love it. And I love how like they're holding it ever so like gently, like they're barely holding onto it, like it's barely there, you know what I mean? And this is the way that it came to me, like this, like the waxing crescent, but it also could be the waning crescent. But we're even almost closer than this, right? There's barely a sliver out there. And let's see where the mantra is so we can see where the card is for us. So it is. So for some of you, the waxing crescent is going to be a really important time for you. This next waxing crescent. And let me look in the book. So the new moon is this weekend. So it'll be in the waxing crescent will be starting on the 18th. Well, at the end of, you know what I mean? It just depends on where you live. So let's just say in good faith, we have the waxing crescent is the 19th moon day on a Monday. So I feel like for some of you, that's going to be a day of setting some really cool intentions. I'm like, where does this want to go? I feel like it's going to be a day for setting intentions for you. Never want to cover the magic. And they want you to be really serious about it too. You know, and from now and you have the whole time period, right? So not just that, you guys, but on the 19th, oh, I got the chills. This is, okay, I got the chills. So the 19th is Moon Day, which is also Juneteenth, right? And we should celebrate that. It's kind of ridiculous that we don't celebrate that. It's almost, I mean, if that doesn't tell you how repressed America is and how fucked up like their priorities are, it's like that tells you right there. You know, it's like, I mean, it's like Revolution Day in our country for the slaves. I mean, come on, like how is that not, it's crazy. All right, so I'm going to move off that. But then after that, the 20th is Litha, which is midsummer, which, you know, it's a Sabbath for those of you who are pagan or follow the earth energy cycles of, you know, what's happening on the planet. And it says, Litha is the battle between light and dark, inner power and brightness. Okay. So somewhere in here, I'm just feeling like a lot of cool shit for you guys, because this is going to be where my throat chakra, yeah, like speak your truth, like what you really want. They're saying what you really want, not what you like kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like what you really, I'm like, what you really, really want. So I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. This is your mantra. This is your mantra. Oh my gosh. I was wondering what this is going to be here for. And now I understand. Oh my gosh, Spirit, you are so funny. Hold on. They're so cute sometimes the way they do stuff. They just love us so much. So give me a second. I can see what they want me to do. I just have to find it. Okay. They had me bring my hair clip in and I had no idea why, but this is for you, okay? So I'm trying to get the light in here. So take a screenshot of this, okay? I am worthy of the very best in life and lovingly allow myself to accept what comes my way. That's a screenshot. You know, I may take screenshots of some of these cards and put them in the community section for you guys. Always check the community section. I haven't been going too much at it. I've been balancing these two channels and trying to keep my life afloat off the grid and all that. So I'm sorry that I haven't been more, you know, in that for you, but you hear me, you feel me. So this is our mantra, all of us. I am worthy of the very best in life and lovingly allow myself to accept what comes my way. To accept what comes my way. So worthy and accept are the key words. So they want you to know that you are worthy. and they want you to accept the blessings, because they're trying to bring the blessings in. You know, for some of us, they are trying to bring the blessings in, but we keep fighting them. You know, like, see, I was wondering why they had like certain things come in like this, but yeah, it's almost like a duel, right? It's like, hiya, sure. This is a really precious feather though, and really rare, so I don't want to ruin it, right? But what are we dealing with here? We're dealing with a feather, and we're dealing with a piece of wood. I can't put it into focus because both my hands are here, right? So here, it's like swords. I know, isn't this cool? But we've got a piece of driftwood and we have a feather. You know, it's like, if I drop it, which one's going to fall faster, right? The wood, it's heavier. The feather kind of flew like a little spiral, like a little tornado, you know, and went down. So earth, air, fire, water. We are made up of all of these elements. We have oxygen in our lungs, right? Our body has an internal heating system. Our stomach, we feed our bodies. That is our oven. We feed our bodies fuel to keep our bodies warm. That's why when people lose weight or people are really thin, they're like, I'm cold. It's because there's nothing in the oven. You know what I mean? But we're earth, we're grounded. We walk with our feet on the ground. We were born with bare feet. We weren't born with shoes and socks on. Right? And air is in our lungs. It's oxygen. And water. We are made up of mostly water, 70% water, just like the planet. And our blood is like the river of dreams that runs through our blood. What is in your blood? What do you want to do? No more fucking playing small. I'm going to talk more about this, I'm sure, at the other channel, and they'll probably have me post things here. There's a lot of shorts that I've made. I was like, really? I was like, man, those are really good. And I was like, if they're just for me, that's cool, you know, whatever. But they're like, no. They're like, you'll understand. But it's being a medium, and those of you who are mediums, psychics, whatever, telepaths, you probably know it's a struggle, because you just want to know. You want it all up front. You know, you're like, I want to know. By the way, if for any reason this breaks into 2 parts, I am not going to question it. I have plenty of room, but they may have that. I mean, one time it never looked like anything broke at all, and it broke up into 3 different parts, and I had like a brand new SD card, and I'm like, what? But they wanted it that way. Also, for some of you, they may have me do one more like something to put on this channel to kind of let everybody know, like, you know, what's going on. Or they may not. I don't know. I keep seeing this vision of that, so it may be on Lula's life, and then I'm gonna, you know, I don't know. Anywho, I'm saying they're showing me a lot of different things right now. So it's basically, I'm a work in progress. We're all a work in progress. So just stay tuned, and I will let you know. But either way, just keep that mantra in mind. I am worthy of the very best in life, and lovingly allow myself to accept what comes my way. So put your dreams out there. You know, Jupiter doesn't go into Taurus. It only goes there every 12 years. These you know, these astrological energies, like they rotate. That's why they say this is a good day for this isn't a good day for that. You know, you may want to, you know, you don't want to sign contracts, you know, during this energy or that energy, because, you know, communication, and if people aren't on the same page, and blah, 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 or, you know, it's like the planets aren't actually going backwards. It's just like the way that the energy is flowing. It just makes it feel like things are like, why can't I move forward? We feel like we're in quicksand, or, you know, it's all energetic. And speaking of, so wait, before I go back, so there's Juneteenth, then the 20th is Litha, and then we've got solstice on the 21st, you know, and Vesta is the Roman goddess of hearth and home and family. You know, we spoke about Vesta on the 13th. You know, so if you want to honor yourself and your family, you can, you know, honor Vesta by baking a cake as an offering. Decorate your home with flowers and do a ritual cleansing of home and self. Be sure to use your own besom, which is like your own broom, for sweeping. You can create your own. There are so many like YouTube things out there to create your own. And then, you know, it's kind of cool too, because it's a blessing on your own house, right? So, and then like Cancer season, like, so basically all of next week is going to be really fucking rad. Like a lot of cool shit's happening energetically, a lot of celebration, bonfires, dancing, all on the old school stuff. So, let's pay homage to our energies and our ancestors that walked before us and brought us all of these. And also we want to say thank you so much to spring and to fall, because we have northern and southern hemisphere family here. So we just want to say thank you so much, Spirit. Thank you to the spring energy. Thank you to the fall energy. And now we're going into summer and winter. And summer and winter are about kind of, resting, doing our thing, enjoying life, right? Because if you planted the seeds in spring, I mean, what are you going to do? Sit there for 3 months and watch? Of course, there's going to be some things that are going to spring up, and you're going to tend to your garden and hopefully, and play outside, which I hope you all do. Get outside. Please get outside. Be barefoot in safe places, of course, as much as possible, whether it's on sand or earth or whatever feels good to you. Climb a tree. I don't care how old you are. It's safely. Make sure that you take good care of yourself. Make sure you feel good about whatever task you're going to do. But we take these energies to relax while things are growing, or while, like, for those of us who are in winter, we're in more of the rest phase. Wow, you guys, like, I can feel the throat chakra. You must speak your truth. You must speak your truth now. Spirit is saying this more now than they've ever said to you through any other reading. I said to them, I feel like this reading is going to be more powerful and more potent and more important than any other reading, because this is it. They are showing us, the way. They are lighting the way. They are saying, like, listen, these are all the things. Now, this is what works for me. Okay. Like, this is what works for me. You may do this in another way. Maybe you found yourself here and you're just here for the message. Maybe you're here for the mantra. Who knows? But this is what works for me: connecting with the earth, connecting with the natural magic and flow of the planet, connecting with the stars, knowing that we are connected. Without the sun, there is not the moon. Without the moon, there is not the sun. We need these energies, right? We need the cool coldness of the moon, which is also the divine feminine. Isn't it interesting? Because you would think, I remember when I was first studying, I was like, so the sun's feminine, right? Because she's like bright and fiery. And they're like, no, it's masculine. The sun is masculine and the moon is feminine. And it's like, but when you think about it, it makes so much sense with emotions and the depth of the feminine, divine feminine energy, just the depths that we can go. And now we are here to, like, really marry together the energy of the divine masculine and feminine. We need them both. We need the darkness too, but we don't want to dwell in either one of them too long. So for the second question, let's go back. It's not even a question. It's just about a message. So for the second message that we have from Spirit, we have from the Making Magick Oracle deck. From the Priestess Moon. I love the Priestess Moon. I think I have almost between Anna and myself, I think I have every deck she's ever made. And I just love her stuff. Really powerful witch. I don't know if she's a hedge witch. Is she a hedge witch? I don't know. I'll have to look another time because they're telling me to keep going. But right now we want to see what message we have from Spirit about faith. Okay, I barely even. Oh, healing. Oh my gosh, you guys. That's like our main theme today. This is what I love Spirit so much. I mean, I love them anyway, but whatever. I mean, this is so amazing. By the way, I feel like something is biting at my ankle, and I know that there's not. I feel like there's something going on in some of your houses, like, be mindful of like an infestation. This isn't to freak you out or get you freaked out, but I'm just hearing, like, make sure that your animals and you are keeping, certain pesky things out of the house. And you can do it through essential oils, natural. There's a lot of natural things, even like pine, like, I don't remember what pine keeps out, but like just pine needles, like, keeps certain critters out. You know what I mean? So this is like for us to start taking things to another level on our healing and showing others how to heal too. Or maybe you're somebody who, I know somebody in our tribe, they just had an incident with something like that. And they, like, healed the house and cleaned the house. And I was like, that's interesting. And they want to, work with dogs. And I was like, that's so cool, right? Because like they're going to help people to stop putting chemicals on their dogs, and using like more natural ways to keep the, we need the fleas, we need the lice, we need these critters. They're here for a reason, and they may be like ew or gross, but it's like, no, everything has a reason and a season. Like the turkey vulture, it gets such a bad rep, but the turkey vulture is amazing. Also, possums can't even get rabies. So if you're concerned about rabies, it's like maybe from the raccoons. I had a situation recently where Alder and Bubba and I were playing outside together, and thank goddess that all three of us were there. And I know it was a divine planning, because 3 raccoons came out of nowhere, and I was like, oh my gosh. I'm like, Bubba, get in the house. I'm like, now. I'm like, get in the house. And he was like, oh my gosh. And I was like, hey guys. And I was like trying to be nice to him. I was like, you guys got to go. I'm like, you can't be here, and I shooed them away. And my husband was like, oh my gosh, that was so cute. There was like 3 of them. And I go, yeah, in the middle of the day. I go, why are there 3 of them in the middle of the day? I'm like, raccoons work at night. I'm like, in my teachings and what I've learned, they work at night. And I'm like, maybe they don't have rabies. Maybe they're just special raccoons. And I'm like, but I'm like, I wasn't going to take a chance. I was like, my gut reaction was like, Bubba, get in the house. So like knowing these kind of things we should know. It's like the things that we know about are so absurd. Like, what shade of lip gloss is that? Because I've seen like 50 fucking, shorts from the new MAC lip gloss on like every person. And you know what I mean? That kind of thing. It's like, what's more important, knowing that or knowing how to keep like real fucking like nuisance shit out of your house? Or like, I know that that's like apples and oranges, but you get what I'm saying. You know what I mean? It's like we're too consumed with things that it's like, I'm not saying you shouldn't wear makeup and be pretty. It was just a silly analogy, but you get what I'm saying, right? Also, they want me to point out that this whole thing is a grid. I saw a snake here. There's also like, I feel like almost like for some of you, they're not having me read the book right now, but I feel like for some of you, like there was like a religious thing going on with your family, like, but you were like an outcast, and you may have an A name, or there's an A in your name. And I feel like this is like, it's interesting because this is about faith, right? So faith healing, I mean, it's the number 5, which, and also this is the waxing, I believe that's the waxing crescent. So here we are in the waxing crescent. So yeah, the way to heal yourself is to let go of the past. So that I feel like any of these can represent anything or anyone in your life right now. But I'm just really getting this really strongly, that this feels like people who are like, I'm Jesus, I'm a Christian, I believe in God, blah, blah. And this feels like a pulpit to me and like a preacher. And they're like, just have faith. But like, you believe in Jesus, but like not the same Jesus they believe in. And you're like, I don't believe in that. And you're like, I'm going to go heal by myself over here. And they're like thinking, you're some like evil, like Eve who ate the apple, A for apple, right? But apples are actually the fruit of the gods. And it's actually the fruit of knowledge. And, she, hold on. They want me to put my light on. If it's true, right, that Eve did that, it's like, then she was told to do that, because she was the divine feminine and he was the divine masculine. This isn't like who's going to be better, who's going to be worse, who's going to, when I look down, it was 56, which is 11, right? It's getting all messed up. It's getting all messed up, like the religion and all that. It's really messing people up. So, and I'm hearing for some of you, this represents like you got a snake in your backyard. And have faith in yourself and your own healing abilities. I feel like there's somebody who acts like they're on your side, but they're not. I love snakes, because snakes are about regeneration, transformation, just like the 5. Like there's so many wonderful things, shedding their skin. So take whatever, lines with you. But I do definitely feel like some of you have a snake in your yard. Because, it's one thing to have a cute gardener snake. I remember this one time there was this gardener snake, a big, big, big one though, in the backyard. And it was blue. It was black and blue. And it was so beautiful. And like the stripes were different shades of blue. And I'm like, what are you? I'm like, you're so beautiful. And then I was like, okay, this is the Pacific Northwest. Like, is this a poisonous snake? Like I kind of started to freak out for a second. And Spirit's like, no, it's fine. But then there are some that like bite, right? And some have venom. So there are all different types of snakes out there. Also, I'm feeling like for some of you, either your name starts with an R or you have an R in your name. And this, they don't want you to look at this empty space as like you're alone anymore, right? Because you're like, well, I can either be here, but kind of be like an outcast or an outsider, or I can be totally alone. And they're like, yeah, but like, look at this. You got snakes in the grass and this like bullshit, fake F. I'm hearing F for fake, you know, and this A could be, this could be the snake in your life too. I'm really channeling this hardcore right now. But like, also I'm hearing Rhiannon, like, right, the witch, like you're over here and you're like, yeah, but like, this is the, like, the real healing comes from the earth. Like, witches have been around for thousands of years before Jesus ever, came here. And, I saw something recently from a comedian who was like something about the Bible and how she's like, it depends on which one you're talking about. She's like, the First Testament is scary as fuck, Anyway, so I forgot to read the bottom. It says true healing of mind, body, and soul. So for the next moon cycle, Geminis are all up in their head, right? They're the air sign. They're all up in their head. But this is a rose quartz. And I'm hearing from Spirit, work with the healing aspect of the moon. Work with the healing aspect of the moon, okay? And follow through the cycles. And if you don't know, I have two... there are two playlists now, and I don't know how much more the channel is going to change or what's going to happen, but there are two playlists, one for picker readings and one for moon readings. Now, there might be the same in both, but that's just because somebody might just go to pick readings and somebody might just go to the moon readings. So I didn't do it to be irritating. I did it just so that people, because Spirit asked me to. Wow, look at that. And what's going on with the self-love? I'm hearing from Spirit, some of you are really having a hard time with the self-love situation. And they're saying, no, 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 no. What's going on? What's going on? So we're going to bring this here. Also, I'm hearing for some of you, you think money is what's going to save you. And they're saying that it's not the money, it's the healing. It's the healing of the mindset around the money. I feel like some of you, like, even if it's one person, I feel like some of you are like, man, if I just had that $50, or if I just had that new bag, or if I could just get, a better car and blah, blah, blah. So your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to work on healing the inside of yourself that tells you that you're not worthy of this money, or you're not worthy of the abundance. Okay? Because what did they say in the mantra? I am worthy of the very best in life and lovingly allow myself to accept what comes my way. And what's coming your way? Healing. Oh, see, the throat chakra, healing. Work with your chakras, meditation, being more quiet. But like I said, if you are interested in following the moon cycles, just go and watch, some of them. They're all timeless. It doesn't matter when I did them. You may even be drawn to one of the moon readings, it's a moon reading and a picker reading from like, a year ago. It's still, if that's where your medicine is, that's where your medicine is, So let's see, I felt them pulling me back to the living by the moon. And also they wanted to remind us that if we live by the moon energies, our lives will be a lot easier, which is also why I believe they're kind of pushing us more into astrology as well, because they're saying, listen, we are made up of the stars. Like, we are made up of the earth and the stars. We are made up of both. And so we need them both to guide us on our path here. Oh, look at that. You know what song I just heard? I got the whole world in my hands, right? But I know that's not the exact words, but that's what they're saying. You've got the sun and the moon in your hands at all times. And I think it's interesting that even though it's a sun around the moon, I feel like they're trying to show that the moon is has all different levels of brightness and energies. And that's why when we work with each cycle, it's like right now we're in the rest and restore. It's in more of the dark phase, right? And then it's going to go into the new moon, and it's going to be dark until the moon comes back through another cycle and the waxing crescent begins and the light comes back around again. So they're saying, try not to lose your light. Even though you're following the moon cycles, try not to lose your light, right? Like, it may dim down during those cycles because we can't be on 24/7, but go with the energy of it. Because also they're saying for some of you, you're pushing it down. You're pushing it down. And it could be sexual energy, because I almost said, that word. I don't want to be too vulgar for those that can't handle it. But I mean, what is it? I mean, it's a vagina. It's a pussy. Who cares? Like, it's part of us. It's like, it's the goddess mother. It's the divine. It's where we are birthed from. It's where we are created, and it's where we are birthed from. So for some of you, there could be some repression that's going on with religion, and you're pushing down your powers and you're pushing down your divine feminine, right? Because you were told that you were gross, or, I mean, when I think about like all the feminine hygiene products that were put out there for us, like, you're smelly, you take this or do that. And all that was actually destroying our systems. We need those, I remember when I was growing up, like in the 70s and the 80s, and everything with like the douche. And like, when you think about it now, it's like douching is like, that's a really like serious thing, because our body needs those floras and those, you know what I mean? Like, we take baths or we go into certain things or we do things, but it's, so this may just be one message for one person, but I really felt that when they just said that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so be mindful, and, don't let other people like tell you, especially, where you hold your power, right? Divine feminine, divine masculine, that's our energy system. It's not our outer faculties, right? It's like, it's our divine innate, like, part of our soul, of our solar system, right? But it's like, we are not defined by a vagina and a penis. That is not what we are defined by. It is far from that. So another mantra that they want us to keep with us is, I am protected. And this was in one of our last readings, and they want us to keep saying this over and over. I trust you, Spirit. I trust you, Spirit. I trust you, Spirit. I am protected. I trust you. And it's, I am protected because I trust you, right? I trust you, Spirit. I am protected because I trust you. Because the more we trust them, the more we allow their energy in to help heal us. So I am protected. I am protected. I am protected. Okay, let's see if they want to do any more mantras for now. Not for now. Let's see if they want us to pull any more of the Making Magic Oracle deck. Not for now. And let me see if they want us, do we want to read from any books today? Are we going to read from any books today? Okay. Before we jump forward into the White Light Oracle, 10537, but you can also take that as 1537. And it says, in the notes I took, it says, the moon affects the water signs greatly, right? Of course it does, because if the moon, think about how the planet is, right? All of the tides ebb and flow by the moon. So the moon is like a tractor beam that like pulls the water and all the emotions. So it's like, I mean, if the moon is what controls the water on the planet, and we're made up of mostly water, and the planet is made up of mostly water, and our emotions are tied to the moon, to water, it would make sense that the water signs would be the most affected. Like myself, my moon is in Scorpio. Fuck, right? I mean, and then I'm a triple fire. I'm a triple Sag. But then I started to look at my chart a lot more in depth, and it's really cool. It's like watching the map of your life. And I think before I wasn't, even though I would read it, I don't think it was as profound to me as it is now, that I'm realizing like how much it really is me. And I feel like I'm starting to find myself more. My identity has become like more clear for like where I am right now, the more I've been delving into my own personal astrological chart. So I seriously, there's so many free ones out there, from Cafe Astrology to Braca Goldsmith, I think has one of her own too. And Marin Altman is a great astrologer on YouTube. I love her. She's got some great shit. She's fierce in your face, but I love her. But there's other ones out there. There's so many. I mean, Braca, Pam Gregory. There's a lot of powerful astrologers out there. So I feel like this has been like a moon school. So I wouldn't be surprised if I do learn some astrology and they have me come back in, but I might not. I don't know. But anyway, so the moon affects the water signs greatly. And this is the highlight. So every single one of us has every astrological, all 12 houses in our chart. I have so much Sagittarius. It's crazy. It's like, I remember one of the first times someone read my chart, she was like, is this a joke? And I was like, what? She's like, there's no way. She's like, oh my gosh. She's like, how are you like navigating the planet? I'm like, yeah, don't know. I'm like, it hasn't been easy, right? And like, there's some tough days. But the stars are aligning with us, right? They wanted me to show the stars. But it also made me realize that with that much fire in my chart, I have to be really mindful, right? Because and there's a lot of mutable signs in my chart. And like out of the divine masculine and feminine, I'm 7 masculine and 3 feminine. Which means like I tend to like go more like, hey, what's up? Blah, 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 you know? But I'm also like, hey, you guys, and I got this like sweet little like fairy side. But I really do tend to be more brash and like in your face. And some people like that and some people don't, right? And I've been trying to figure out like, is that me? Is that just something I've become? So the more I unpack who I am and the more I'm going through my astrological chart, the more I'm starting to understand more. So I highly suggest you do the same. So, but Cancer, I mean, Cancers literally are ruled by the moon. The astrological sign of Cancer is ruled by the moon. So when you think of it that way, it's like, okay, well, they're ruled by the moon and they're a water sign, and then the moon is water. That's pretty intense. So, our Cancers are quite sensitive. And that makes me think of so many things right now. Anyway, but it says water signs are more connected to the waning cycles. So right now we are in the waning, right? So whether you're in the waning gibbous or you're in the waning crescent, like we are right now, those are more of the like transformative and restorative energies, which is really interesting. But then it says the moon energy is also connected to the fire signs because the moon energy is very creative. It's part of the creative cycle, right? That's why we have the cycles, right? And we go through, all these different energies when we go through a creative process. So it makes sense that the fire signs would be more connected to the moon because fire sparks creativity. So it says the creative cycle, it says, blah, blah, blah. The moon is also creative and part of the creative cycle. And so she is closely linked to the fire signs as well. And it says Aries, Leo, Sag. So for the water signs, for those of you who don't know, we have Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. Okay, so for those 6 signs are really, really connected to the moon. Some are more in the waxing, like the fire signs. So it said in the article that the fire signs were more connected to the waxing cycles. And I was like, that's so interesting because I am almost all fire, right? So in the waxing, but then also my moon, I was born in the waning crescent. So, and my moon's in Scorpio, my emotions. So isn't that interesting? So I want you to delve deeper into your stuff as well as the next moon cycle, takes on. Just because I'm not there doesn't mean you can't do it. You know what I mean? Just keep at it. And they may have me do shorts for it, or I don't know. Some of them I can tell. I was like, oh, I remember that. That was absolutely a moon, cycle reading. But I don't know if they'll have me do that. So for our last part of our healing process, we had the faith, which is the healing. And they want us to have faith in ourselves as healers as well. Like if you were brought here to be, a light worker, that's part of faith healing, right? And if you're somebody who grew up in a very feeling unprotected, right? If you felt like you were unprotected in a very, like for me, I was raised in a very unprotected, religious, like, it wasn't about like what I really needed. It was more about, what was right and what was wrong in the eyes of God, in the eyes of this book that was written by men, and I just really struggled. So I know that's part of my path too, which is why I think I am in love with Taylor Tomlinson, because she was also a very religious, raised very religiously like that. And, that shit takes a toll on you. It takes a toll on you. So true healing of the mind, body, and soul begins with self. Right? Change and transformation. Okay, so the next one is the promise. Oh my gosh. And remember, Spirit's been saying, I thought it was really interesting because I had these cards, these decks in a different order, and they had me change it around to this. And then I was like, oh my gosh, this makes so much sense. And I've been following the breadcrumbs the whole time. But it makes sense that we're doing the White Light Oracle last for the promise. Because if you are here and you found yourself here on any part of this video, then you know that you have a higher purpose than most people. Oh, this one just popped out. That you were put here to make a difference in the world. Okay. So with that being said, oh, look at the Deer of Delta. The Promise, number 26. Deer of Delta. Oh, wow. Okay, so we want to work with the bee, and then we want to work with the deer spirit animal, okay? So we're going to work with the bee and the deer spirit animal. So when we're done here, when you go off on your own, your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to research deer spirit medicine. I will tell you a little bit about the deer. I don't know if my book is here, because sometimes they have me read it from my book, and if it's here, then I'll read it. And if it's not, if it's put away, then I don't think they want me to, because they would have me grab it. Oh, look at this. Oh my gosh, look at this. Here's the bottom of the deck. So, look at this. Number 44, Ishtar's Lion Gate, 888. So the 888 portal, so the Lion's Gate portal, which also is known as the Dragon's Gate portal too for some people, there's going to be a major awakening for everybody. We're all going to go through something really major. Oh, I hope I get to do something for you guys, because that sounds really rad. I'm like, the second I saw it, I was like, what is that? I was like, what is happening? I love it so much. Oh my gosh, we're an hour and 14 minutes. I don't know if it's changed over to another one, but interesting that that was on the bottom. So let me see if they want us to read. This book is very, very in depth. Would you like us to read from the book? Okay. And like I said, if it has gone, whatever, then, follow the breadcrumbs. If not, you got the messages that you needed. So it's number 26. Oh, interesting. Number 26 is also the number 8. Isn't that interesting? And 8 and 5 is 13. Let me look at it seriously, because like 2, 6, and 5, that is 13. The number of the goddess. This is where I'm like, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And, if people say, oh, you're just looking for shit. I remember I would put things together like that all the time. And my friends and family would be like, oh, like for a minute, they would kind of go, oh, I don't know, that's kind of cool. And then they'd go, oh, dude, shut up. They're like, shut the fuck up. I'm like, you never know. And I was probably right? Because I've always been this. So interesting. Okay, drink some water. The Deer of Delta. Without any force, you can overcome even extreme negativities. Your real nature is gentle, which is powerful in its own unique way. You do not need to become something you are not. You can confidently and effectively invoke spiritual protection from the light. You can never be dominated or bullied at a spiritual level, because the real you is always empowered and protected in the light. It's on page 145, which is also the number 10 about completion. So remember when I was telling you guys about my dad played Suspicious Minds? So what got me was I was listening to the lyrics, and I was like thinking back, and like all the terror in my house, and just all the, just the beatings and the religion and just all the shit that happened. And my dad came in so gently, and he said, but you're not like us. You weren't like us. And there were times like, that I would, scream and try and break my parents up. Like I would throw myself in front of my mom, like kind of thing, or my dad would feel like shame. Like I'd be like, no, like don't hit her again. It's like my family tried to shield me. My sister tried to shield me, and I love them for trying to protect me. But it's funny because they kept trying to protect me, but I didn't feel protected. I didn't feel this. Do you know what I mean? Like I wanted to feel protected. It wasn't until I started to really like believe in myself and believe in like who I am and trust spirit and trust, our Lemurian ancestors and our angelic ancestors and all of these, energies. I started to trust that they were real, and then I could feel them, and I could feel, and when my dad came through last night, for my Star Wars fans, I am not kidding you. It was like that moment, the first time that Obi-Wan Kenobi showed up to Luke when he was like struggling, and like, Yoda's like, go fucking figure shit out, and he's like, and then it's like he comes in and he's like, he comes in as like this apparition. I just got the chills in my body. I swear, it's like my dad came in. And it was just like that. It was like my dad came in, and it was like this really gentle, loving side of my dad that was so beautiful, that would never, ever hurt anyone or hit anyone or do anything, And he said, don't be like us. And he was showing how much like my husband's like him. And like my dad, would fuel the fire, and like my husband will fuel the fire, and my mom would go dark. And my mom, it's like the more my dad would use his fist, the more my mom would use her tongue, because she was so fucking smart and she knew which buttons to push. She was very observant, and she would know exactly what to say to like bring my dad to like the point where like she'd be like, yeah, like it's almost like she wanted to be hit, And I know people say like, don't say that, that's fucked up. It's like, it is fucked up. And I'm not saying that she wanted to be hit. I'm sure the first several times, whatever, probably terrifying. But after many years of it, you change. And then it's like, are we going through this? Are we going to spar? And she actually became stronger, and that's a whole other thing. But I just started to like see things, and my dad was like showing me everything with my partner and I, and I started to share it with him a little bit last night, but he was half asleep. But I can't wait to talk to him more about it. And I realized, I was like, that's what he was saying. It's like, there's this, that Adele song. I'm trying to remember if I can try and think of the words. Hold on, give me a second. Okay, she goes, I know how low I go, I give as good as I get. And you take the brunt of it all, 'cause you're all I got left, right? I hope in time we finally find peace of mind, right? And sometimes the road less traveled is the road less best left behind. And I hope I learn to get over myself and stop trying to be somebody else, right? I just want to love you and give my heart for free, right? She's like, everybody wants something from me, but you just wanted me. And I feel like this is spirit talking to us, and us, like our relationship with spirit, but also in our relationships with people. Like I tried, when our fight started like to go dark, I tried to stay in the light. I tried to say, I'm very angry right now. I'm very, like, I tried to use my words. But it's like, it wasn't going to happen. Not with his demon, man. His demon goes for my fucking jugular, and that was it. He had me on the floor, right? Like spiritually speaking, like he had my fucking jugular, and I was just like, and then I just saw red, and I was like, fuck you. I'm like, don't talk to me like that. And I was like, it was like, before I knew it, we were like back to where we were. And then it's like, when we retreated and went to our corners, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm like, I am not this person. But it's programming, because I watched it like a fucking TV show for how many years of my life? I don't even know. At least 7 years of my life, I watched my parents torture each other. Kids are observant. So we watch everything. And even if you had a beautiful, quote unquote, perfect household, everything was great, loving family, whatever, you may have gotten into a relationship with somebody that, sold you a bad bill of goods because they told you all the things you wanted to hear, right? Like they went for your weak points because they knew, they went for your jugular. These relationships, all of these things that are happening, they're unfolding before us. We need to unpack and keep unpacking and keep unpacking. And I hope that's what I'm going to be doing soon. And that's why they're having me stop this channel too, because I'm ready to be in my house. So with that being said, you know what I mean? It's like we all have a purpose, and we all made a promise. I'm also going to put a link below to, if I can find it, The Law of Dharma from Deepak Chopra. And I really, really urge you, we've done this before in our readings, but I'm really going to urge you again to please listen to it with everything that you are. Please listen to it. Listen to it, and listen to it when you can look at the time and make sure you have that allotted time. Make sure that you say to whomever, can you please like watch so-and-so, or can you please, stay out of the room for this long? And, if you have headphones, it's probably better. And just go into a meditative state. And when you're ready and you feel calm and peaceful, lay there and listen to it and really take it in, because every time I hear it, I swear I hear it more and more in depth, where I'm like, wow, thank you, Deepak Chopra. I needed to hear that. And he's just channeling too, right? So this says, some things can only happen when we let go at the deepest inner level. Regenerative healing is one of them. Shamans of old understood that to obtain transformational awareness, one has to sever themselves from the world as one knows it. to unlearn what one once knew, to be reborn. In that rebirth, a new understanding and vitality, clarity, and purpose can emerge. I mean, it said the promise, but I kept seeing purpose too. And what I mean by that is like, we all have a purpose. We all have a gift, our dharma. It's individual to each one of us. You know, it doesn't matter that I'm a medium. There could be 100,000 mediums, but we each have our own flair, our own, you know what I mean? Not every person's gonna, that's a lot of pressure for one person to, you know, to take on. We take on as much as we can. We learn what we need to learn and we move on. Like I was going through the 7 stages of death with this. I was really upset. I thought this was going to be done. But now I'm seeing that it's like, now that I've like let this go, now that I'm saying goodbye to this, I'm excited for what's coming. I'm excited for what's next. I'm excited to use the energy of this year to my greatest advantage. And I want you guys to do the same. Okay. So, what did you say, Spirit? So yes, so getting back to the promise, it's connected to our purpose, right? We made that promise with ourselves. We made this promise with the divine that we were going to come here and do this. And you are divinely protected. And if you're not, it's because you're in the wrong circles. And you need to find the right people and the right community so that you can feel protected. And I use this as, this is like a religious, for my story, but insert your story here. This could be a work thing. That could be a relationship. Like maybe you've got, some people who, they're Jewish or, they're Muslim or something, you know what I mean? It could be anything. I just put that in there because it's a sign of the cross and, of that. So it says the shamanic realm is the realm of the delta brainwave, the state of deep sleep. So for some of you who are struggling with sleep, there are so many things on YouTube, and use your energy, use your pendulum if you don't have them. If not, sit with spirit, or if there's someone that you really trust, be like, hey, who do you listen to for your meditations? Because there's also a lot of fakery and fuckery out there. I'm sorry to report that is true, that there are some people out there that are not out there for your greatest and highest good, okay? So some people are doing subliminal shit, like religious stuff. So be mindful, not fearful, just mindful, aware. That's it. Especially if you're listening to it and you're like, I don't feel good about myself. Or it's like any meditation. It's one thing if you're like, you don't feel good because it's bringing up, like you're healing, you know what I mean? Like you're in a healing process and you know what I'm saying? It's like there's a different form of that. You know what I mean? Like you're crying because you're remembering when you fell off your bike and skinned your knee, and you're like, wow, I guess that really affected me more than I thought, But then there's also like, you love, whatever, blah, 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 like some subliminal, like bullshit. Like there's so much ASMR out there. I think that's how they say it. And some of that shit is fucking the subliminal. It's not good. People don't realize that they're being brainwashed, and it's not a conspiracy theory. That is real fucking shit out there. So we must be aware. So just energetically feel it out. Okay. No fear. You are protected. You are protected. You are protected. Okay. So it says the shamanic realm is the realm of the delta brainwave, the state of deep sleep. Here, one is completely unconscious. There is temporary paralysis at this level, which allows for the deepest healing and renewal. Here, the gateway to the universal mind is entered, and the precious recalibrating treasures of healing are gained. In Delta, we surrender completely to a great and powerful intelligence far beyond our understanding. At 0 hertz to 4 hertz, delta waves are the slowest and most stabilizing of the brain waves. So work with 0 to 4 hertz, okay? 0 to 4 hertz. 0 to 4 hertz. And then I'll even put it here so you can like see it if it's not something that you're familiar with. See, at 0 to 4 hertz, delta waves are the slowest and most stabilizing of the brain waves. This is the state in which the body recovers from injury and the brain has a chance to check off its list of deferred repairs and healing and restore optimal function. This includes the capacity to learn and the healthy functioning of the immune system, physically and also emotionally, so we are not contaminated or confused by the emotional or psychic workings of the world around us. Exactly, right? What I just said. This oracle brings guidance that the healing you need cannot come from logical sources, but requires a deep letting go and restructuring from within. Consider what practices and people could help facilitate this process in your life. Consider how you may value and encourage deep restorative sleep and regular retreats as part of your lifestyle. Also, for some of you, I don't know if you've ever done this before. Is it sloughing or, that practice of where you brush your skin with please put in the comment below It'll probably come to me. I have one, right? And it's like a dry brush, and you brush the dead skin off your body. I'm hearing for some of you, yeah, you may shower and you may whatever, but especially if you're using like certain chemical like soaps, or even good soaps, if you're putting too much of like oils on top of whatever, it's like our skin can sometimes get messed up. So I'm hearing for some of you, like you're getting like breakouts of ingrown hairs, like on your arms or on your body, your bikini area, or around your scalp and face, anything like that. Obviously you can't dry brush your face there. Well, you can, but not with the same one you do for your body, because your skin's more sensitive. But yeah, but I'm hearing like there's something like that's blocking your breathing, the oxygenation of is that the word, of your cells, for them to breathe and work. So look into dry brushing. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you. Came out naturally. Dry brushing. And make sure that you're getting natural brushes, because a lot of the dry brushes are boar bristles, and you don't want boar bristles because they kill those animals. You want to get a vegan brush. I actually have one made with agave cactus bristles, and I love it. It's amazing. And I don't know what a boar bristle one feels like, but this one feels really good on my skin. So I got a wood handle. It's all organic. You can find it even on Amazon. I think I got it for like $35. It was worth its weight in gold. So I'm hearing that's a really big one for all of us to also like, it's like opening, it's like our body wants that sloughing off the spring, the fall, whichever hemisphere you're in, it's like we're sloughing off that old energy and welcoming in the new, so when summer solstice comes, like we're going to say goodbye to spring and hello to summer, or goodbye to fall and hello to winter solstice. Whatever it is, we're going into it new and fresh. And you may want to, like they said about like cleaning, and taking care of yourself and your home. Okay. So let's see, where are we? So it says, this oracle brings guidance that the healing you need cannot come from logical sources, but requires a deep letting go and restructuring from within. Yeah. I mean, let's be honest. Your standard therapist may be cool and maybe like believe in all these things you're doing, but if you go to see a certain therapist, it's like they may try to just give you medication, because they're like, they're like, oh, you have voices talking to you, and you're like, I think I'm a medium, and they're like, yeah, I think you're crazy. It's just, I mean, I remember one time I was like, yeah, I'm so sure I'm going to go to a therapist and tell them, all the things and all the entities that I talk to, and that like Lucifer talks to me and Jesus talks to me. And I'm like, I mean, I've been with so many different shamans and healers, or whatever you want to call them, teachers. They're all whatever label that you want to put on them. But even them, with all the people they've worked with, are like, I've never met anything like you, like the fact that you're a telepath and a medium and all these different things. And I can smell things, hear things, feel things. I have all the clairs and everything. Of course they would probably want to put me on medication, and I've helped a lot of people get off of medication because that wasn't their path. That it's like medication is just most likely dulling the senses. They want us to heal ourselves from the inside out. I'm not saying to go off your medication all at once. I've done that before and almost killed myself. Don't do that. I thought 2 bottles of wine was solving the problem. It was not, I can assure you. But it led me to this, and it led me to who I am. You know what I mean? Because I was just like, I was so tired. I didn't want to do it anymore. So, be mindful of who you're talking to, because your parents or some people might try and push you to like get, kind of help that you don't need. Consider what practices and people could help facilitate this process in your life. Consider how you may value and encourage deep restorative sleep and regular retreats as part of your lifestyle, right? I saw something recently from Verdant Vanille. If you haven't seen her, she's amazing. I love her. She's a really powerful witch. I don't know if they identify that way, but I know that they are in my heart. And not to say what they are, but I'm pretty sure they just don't say it, or maybe they do. I don't know. Either way. But I love, love, love their channel, because they've been helping me to remember how much I am worth. And one of the things they said was like, you save up that money, and and not save up like for a long period of time, but like, you're like, hey, I'm going to go get that massage. And like once a month you get a massage because or twice a month or once a week, whatever works for you. But you know what I mean? It's like those things. Now, if you want to get your nails done, I always say to people, that's fine, like whatever, but just also remember, like there's a lot of chemicals in that nail stuff. And when you go into those nail salons, I can't even be in there for more than like between the energy and the gossip and the bullshit and whatever. I'm like, there's a lot of negative energy in those places in my experience. The last time I went, I literally went because it was like a family thing, and I wanted to be a part of it with my family, but it was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. Luckily, that salon, the way it was like built, it wasn't so bad. Like, it was really airy, high ceilings, you know what I mean? And we were a wedding party, so we were like booked, and so it was like really just us in there. So I kind of knew the people, but also, you know what I mean? It's just like, it's different. It's different. It's just a different energy. So pampering and healing, you know, sure, that's fine. But like, if you're going to do something for healing, do it that's something that's going to actually really heal you from the inside out and the outside in. Not just like, oh, every time you look at your hand, you're like, oh, I feel pretty. Yeah, that's cool to feel pretty, but this is like on a deeper fucking level. You know what I mean? No judgment. I'm just saying, like, this is on a deeper level of healing that they're talking about. And I think you kind of get that. So it says the Greek nymph Taygete, Taygete, called upon her beloved goddess Artemis to protect her from unwanted advances from a powerful suitor. In response, the goddess transformed them into a doe so she would be safe from harm. Taygete, I don't know if I'm saying this right. I always hate what I find out later. I'm like, oh, is it Taygete? Taygete teaches us that we become vulnerable like the gentle deer in the spiritual sanctuary of our devotion, protected by a greater source. And meaning like being devoted to ourselves, like that our home is our spiritual sanctuary, that our home is our spiritual sanctuary, us, ourselves, our body, our minds, our souls, but also our outside, our like of our body, our home, our bed, our couch, our kitchen, every single part of our house or every single part of our life, right, needs to be feeling protected. It needs to feel safe. It needs to feel like a place of healing, right? So that's, I mean, this reading is so beautiful, and this is the longest one I think we've done in a long time. But it's so beautiful because it makes so much sense, right? Like what they're saying to us. And also, you know, everything I've ever read about, you know, deer is unconditional love, right? So I could have come back to him, to my partner. I could have come back to him in a completely different way and been gentle. Even though he was being dark, I could have just been continuing to be gentle. I probably would have eventually broke him down. But instead, I just kept feeling the fire. And he's a triple Gemini, and his moon's in Sag, fire. Mutable signs. Two, like, we have all mutable except for my water. That's it. My water and my moon, you know, it's like, and all of that emotion, oh my gosh, all over the place. And water puts out fire. So, you know, it's like I could have probably eventually put out that fire that was burning in his belly of darkness and the demons if I had just held in a little bit longer. But instead, I gave in. It was a great lesson. I mean, these are the lessons that Spirit keeps teaching us, you know. And he and I both came from such families of like unconditional. It wasn't unconditional love. It was conditioned love. We both came from homes that it was like things. There were conditions. There were things that were done to us, or things that we thought were supposed to be good for us, and they thought would be good for us that weren't good for us, that actually put us in harm's way, or you know what I mean, that like, you know, in one aspect, the parent, I know on my partner's side, thought that they were like doing better by like, you know, bringing the child with them. They didn't want to leave the child at home, you know, so they would go out to the bars, and then they would bring the child with them into the bars, when back then they were still letting kids in bars, which was so unhealthy and horrible things, or letting them go sleep out in the car with a friend. You know what I mean? Not fucking cool. And then not even like wondering like where they were or what happened to them. Years later, they got sober and there was a lot of guilt there, but it's like, that's still something that my partner has to unpack, of all the people that have like, you know, molested him in one way or another, or, you know, he saw things or dealt with things that way before any child should have to deal with those very adult situations, you know. And same for me, like, you know, with my parents. And, it was like on one side they were like super religious, and the other side it was like partiers. It was like my mom's side was like more religious, they weren't drinkers. My dad's side was like big partiers, and oh, they were religious, but it was Catholic and it was okay. And you know, it was like as long as the Pope said it was okay, they could do it, kind of thing. And my mom's was like die hard. If it wasn't in the Bible, it didn't happen. And I was just so fucking confused, right? And so these childhood traumas, right, we didn't feel safe. We didn't feel love. And I love that the heart came in, and this stone always reminds me of a heart. And turquoise, work with the turquoise energy, okay? And black onyx for protection, because I'm wearing my onyx today too, right? But it's like we wanted this, we needed this, we needed to feel protected. Instead, we were these little does that were like out, like out into the world, like, you know, like where's our protection? Where's our mom? And if you went through something like that, or if you're feeling like that now, like if you're working through your inner child trauma, which all of us are on different levels, we're all working from different levels of consciousness right now, but the new earth is here, and we can either keep diving back into the darkness and the depths of, you know, the murkiness of that old energy, or we can love, because we come from love, we come from gentleness. And that's what Spirit is telling us. We are loved, we are protected. This is a healing process. All of us are going through a different level of our awakening healing process, every single one of us. And there's nothing wrong with you, and you're exactly where you're supposed to be. So don't be hard on yourself, okay? So let's see if they have any more. So they teach us that we can become vulnerable like the gentle deer in the spiritual sanctuary of our devotion, protected by a greater source. Then there is no need to become aggressive or harsh or to defend ourselves from the aggression of another. We can let go and allow ourselves to be held. This is a way to ward off negativities without needing to disconnect from our softness and grace. Even if you are dealing with some intense negativities from a particularly powerful opponent, Deer of Delta encourages you to call for spiritual intervention with complete confidence in the grace that will instantly and consistently be bestowed. Your strength and power can flow from your spiritual connection. If you have been advised to toughen up, you are encouraged to instead remain true to yourself and find your strength within. And that's what my dad in Obi-Wan Kenobi form was saying to me. He's like, don't fall prey to, don't be like us. Break that cycle, break the chain. And honestly, while Alder and I were like trying to like work through it, Break the Chain came on from Fleetwood Mac. I shit you not. Like Spirit played all these songs for us, and it was like we both just like started crying, and like it was like our therapy. So if you're, you know, if you want to have a spiritual therapist, put your music on shuffle and ask Spirit to speak to you, and I guarantee you they will. It is freakish, and be prepared to be like, oh my gosh, and don't say it out loud. Just say it in your mind, because that will even give you more confirmation that it's not just like Big Brother listening through your phone or something. For real, like if you just put on your music and you put it on shuffle and you say to Spirit in your mind, like, you know, show me the way, show me the breadcrumbs, because that's all I'm here to do. I'm not here to save you. You're here to save yourself. And it's not about saving. It's about healing. It's about, you know, change and growth. This is a brand new earth. We were in repression and punishment and all these horrible things for thousands of years. And now we as the light workers, we as the white light workers, we are here to come back in, right? And we are here to, you know, show the world that we don't have to do it with darkness. We can be gentle. We can heal with gentility. We don't have to heal with brute force. We don't have to, like, you know, the other thing too is, and I'm not bashing, okay? This is just my personal experience, but you know, the frustrating thing for me that I find in a lot of religions is that it's like people will keep doing the same bad shit, quote unquote bad shit, bad behavior, quote unquote, right? They'll keep doing the same stuff. And then they'll go and ask for forgiveness from, you know, God, or they will repent, or, you know, then they'll say horrible, ugly words, or they'll do horrible, ugly things. And then they'll go and ask for forgiveness. And then once they feel good about it, or once that guilt or whatever has receded, then they'll go and do it again. Because if you're not fucking healing it from the core, from the center, that's why the healing's in the center. That's why it's from this deck. Almost every one of my decks, I swear, has some healing card or a form of it in it. And you know, it's like this is smack dab in the middle. Without the healing, without the inner healing, and without the self-love that we have for ourselves, we cannot give to anyone else. And when my partner said something to me in such a horrific way, I was like, well, then there's no possible way you can love me if you don't love yourself. Because then that's not real love, you know? And then once we worked through the hurt and the inner child and all this, and we got through it, and then sometimes we act out each other in such a ridiculous way that the other one starts laughing, and I'm like, dude, that's literally how you are sounding or acting right now. And then we laugh, and then we're like, but when you laugh, that's when you know that you finally, the triggers aren't getting to you like they used to. You're finally, like, you know, you're not holding on to that shit. That's what depression and anxiety and all that stuff is. Those are just feelings and emotions that you haven't processed and worked through yet. So Spirit is saying, allow yourself to process and work through this in this healing process for the whole summer, for the whole winter. They may be having me take the whole summer off. I have no idea. But at least for us, I know that for whether northern, southern hemisphere, in the summer and the winter months, they want us to really focus on our inner worth and on our healing, and reminding us that not only are we protected, but we are worthy. We are worthy of this. We are worthy of this love. We are worthy of this love. We are worthy of this protection. And research the six-pointed star, because I didn't even realize it until it was there. There's actual meaning in that. Let me see if they want us. Do you want me to read any more from the book, Spirit? Do we have any more messages from the book? Okay, so that's it, you guys. Do we want to pull any more cards? Or, oh my gosh, an hour and 42 minutes. This may be the longest one we've ever done. It's been a long time since we did one this long. And I won't know until afterwards whether it's one or two or whatever. But either way, you know what to do. And it's already done. So I love you so much. Thank you so much for everything you've done. Thank you so much for walking with me, walking beside me, behind me, pushing me all the way, pulling me from walking in front of me and pulling me and dragging me forward when I couldn't do it myself. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All of you, you know who you are. And if I didn't call out your name, you know I love you, and you know that you don't need a shout out, that you know what I mean? It's all good. Until next time, take really good care of yourselves and each other. All of my information is in the About section. I'm going to be, like I said, this is going to be changing and evolving. I'm almost positive this is my last video. If I do, it's definitely my last reading. If I do any more videos, it is going to be to just kind of let everybody know like what's going on, and I may be on it. I don't know. We will see. Okay. So, and like I said, all my information is in the About section, all my links to my other pages and to my other things. And if you would like to work with me, you know, if I have time this summer, I'm sure that they will let me know. So if you would like to work with me, I do way beyond readings. You know, it's funny when I work with people, sometimes they're like, dude, you don't just do readings. They're like, it's like a whole like healing session. They're like, I always feel so different. By the way, look at the angel up there. Hello, angel. The angels are watching over you. That's what they wanted me to show you, that the angels are watching over you, and they're always watching over you. You know, the sessions that I do with Spirit are kind of like I do here, but when I'm working one-on-one with you, it's obviously more in depth, and you know, we're working with all different types of trauma. I can hold space for it. I've worked with death doulas, life doulas, you know, and so in all respects, I'm here to hold space for you when you're ready. When you're ready for your change and transformation, number 5. Okay, I feel like I'm prolonging it, but it's just because I love you guys so much. And I know I'm going to see you at the other things, and I know I'm kind of being silly, but it's like the end of an era. So with that being said, my hat is off to you. I love you so much. See you next time. Blessed be. Oh, bye. Thank you, Magical Medium. Thank you, Moon Phases. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you to all the energies that were here. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, everybody. The portal is now closed. Blessed be.